Good morning. Good
All
morning.
right, I'm admitting all. You ready?
All right, let's do it. Hello, everybody. It's always awesome to have a full waiting room as we're getting started here. So for those of you who are on with us live, if you go and click on participate at the bottom of that list of participants, there is an option to invite others. You click on that and you can copy the link to this show and then send it to your family and friends and say, hey, jump on this with me. And they also will be able to hear Ask Doc Live. So we love the fact that we have so many wonderful people on with us. We love the cameras, the smiling faces, and around the world. Absolutely love it. My name is Becca Dukes, and I have been granted the privilege of having this 2 hours as the host of Ask Doc Live. And again, for those of you who are on with us live, if you have questions for Dr. Wallach, go ahead and find that option to raise your virtual hand. So if you're doing this, I don't always see all of the pictures, so I won't see you raise your physical hand, but there you go. Rosemary got it. Thank you, Rosemary. But raise your virtual hand and we'll be able to see that you have your hand up with a question and go through the questions as the hands are raised. So welcome to Ask Doc Live. So this program is being brought to you by AskDocLive.com, and it is a resource to help you get knowledge that empowers you, yourself, your community to take your health into your own hands. Who has more interest in making sure that you have less pain, less illnesses than yourself? We can be our own authority. We have our own best interest in mind and is at the top of the list, or if it's not, it should be, folks. So in today's program, we're going to be providing information that is for informational purposes only. Let me turn the sound off. I apologize. All right. The content of this program is to provide information only on the importance of supplementation and how your body responds when it has deficiencies and what you can do to change that response in a more positive manner. Now, these statements that are going to be brought to you today on this program have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. The products discussed are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease, and the information, again, is for informational purposes only. If you are pregnant, nursing, or taking medications, please consult your healthcare professional before starting on any supplemental program or even putting a tomato in your mouth. But hey, that's just my opinion because, you know, with us today, we have an amazing doctor who has actually been very instrumental in providing information and even paying with his own dollars to sue the FDA with 9 victories that have led to the addition of vital nutrients into foods and allowing us to be able to distribute this information to you. Because folks, it is proven by science to be factual in the essential need of supplementation against disease. So we also bring you good news that the genetic theory, which is really good news to me, this theory has been proven incorrect. The science of epigenetics is the study of how your own behaviors and the environment can change the way that your genes are expressed. And with epigenetics, you are an empowered individual and have more control than you think of your own health journey. And we invite you to feel the difference with the options that are shared in this program. Now, the testimonies that may be shared on this program are voluntary. They are not anybody that is a paid actor to come and bring any type of false information. And if you are on with us and you have a factual testimony of your amazing experience with what Dr. Wallach has recommended in his protocols, please raise your hand. We love to hear those testimonies as well. Now, this program, again, I said, is sponsored by AskDocLive.com. But if you are here because somebody took the time to invite you and wanted to share this information with you, make sure that you get back with that person to get more information, especially on ordering. And the first thing you want to do is thank them for taking the time to share this program with you. If you are watching this video as a replay on any of the platforms that we broadcast to, and you would like more information about the products, and there was nobody specific that shared it with you, feel free to go to the website AskDocLive.com and use the Contact Us. Submit your questions there, and one of our certified holistic health coaches will get back with you. Now, to guide us through this journey on making choices that are empowering to our own health, we are honored to have one of the founding fathers of epigenetics, who is also the recipient of the 2011 Klaus Schwartz Commemorative Medal, a lifetime achievement on natural medicine and philanthropy. Philanthropy? I can never get that right.
Philanthropy.
From the United Nations in 2015, here with us to share the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. Dr. Wallach, welcome to Ask Doc Live.
Okay, well, thank you, Rebecca, and thank you, team. And
Before you get started, Doc, before you get started, for those of you who are on with us live, make sure that you turn that chat option on. Our amazing co-hosts, Ruth Ellen Sanchez, Nasima Omar, and Dr. Judy Reynolds, they will be sharing information in that chat that will help you find the names of the products, because Dr. Wallach doesn't slow down for anybody. Not even me, even though I ask him, Doc, let's talk slower. We reach around the world. Some of the folks listening, this is not their first language, so let's be kind, right? All right, Doc, it's all yours.
My name is Dr. Wallach. So I'm going to speak slowly so everybody can understand me, okay?
Okay, cut it in half. Halfway.
Okay, so at any rate, epigenetics, very, very proud of that. It's one of those things where it's going to have a huge positive impact here as we move forward as humanity. This is not just a one-day deal. This is forever and ever, okay? The truth is always the truth. And I want to speak today about a cholesterol deficiency. You heard me, cholesterol deficiency. And cholesterol deficiencies have been going on since women wanted to be beautiful and slim, because what they would do is they would avoid eating animal fat. They would avoid eating eggs. They would avoid eating anything that had fat in it, like dairy and butter and so forth. And they were just overjoyed when margarine came along because it wasn't butter. And they would just be so happy with everything that was without animal fat, like skim milk and things like that. They were so happy because they were getting rid of all the animal fat. Well, in 1910, a disease called Alzheimer's disease appeared. Okay, we'll talk about that in a minute. It wasn't in existence very significantly until 1910, and now it's very significant. Okay, Alzheimer's disease. And then there's MS, multiple sclerosis, which is a loss of the white matter of the brain. And then, of course, when you have the same thing going on in the spinal cord, you get Guillain-Barré syndrome, Parkinson's disease, which is MS with a lot of tremors, demyelinization, where everything seems to fall apart, where the white matter of your brain goes away, because 25% of your brain weight, okay, is cholesterol. 25% of your spinal cord weight is cholesterol. It's one of those things where you have to be eating it because it's a consumable item that goes away. You don't just take it once and you have it forever and ever. Okay, even minerals like calcium, you have to take it in every day. You don't just take it in once and it lasts you forever. Okay, and so this is a constant thing. Well, it's one of those deals where the medical mistake hit big time, okay, about 100 years ago, when doctors made the mistake of saying, oh, plaque in the arteries is due to cholesterol. Give up cholesterol. Don't eat eggs. Don't eat dairy. Don't eat animal fat, because that's what's causing the plaque in your arteries and plugged arteries and high blood pressure and all that kind of stuff. And everybody immediately went that direction, okay, because doctors said, doctors said. And so then they started getting other things happening. About 2 years ago, the rate of gay and lesbian behavior in America was 3% of our population. Now it's 7%. It's more than doubled. What is going on here? Okay. Are people that frustrated, with, normal hormones and everything like that? No, it's a dietary deficiency. Okay. Because when in 1910, there's very few people had Alzheimer's disease. But now Alzheimer's disease is a big deal. It really got big in 1960. And especially, at that point, the pharmaceutical industry came out with statin drugs to lower cholesterol, and everything began to crash. Okay. And so then just, I don't know the exact dates here. Rebecca may have the exact dates, but this lady scientist, a PhD, I believe, Ivanka Javik, okay, from Sweden, she published an article, okay, in the Swedish Brain Institute publication, which was then put into an American journal, let's see here, the proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences in the USA. So what was this very special publication? Okay, well, this gal took an MRI and did studies on 2 groups of people. One group was 25 straight males and, let me back up, 25 straight women and 20 gay males. The second group was 25 gay, let's see here, or lesbian women and 20 straight men, okay, for a total of 90. They did MRI studies on them, and here's what they found. Okay, let's see here. Now, this is all published, okay? Let's see here. Lesbian, let's see here. Let's start out with homosexual men and straight women. Homosexual men and straight women have equal size hemispheres of the brain, right and left, but the women have normal electrical transmission between the right and the left brain and also down the spinal cord and so forth, whereas the homosexual men have a electrical problem, okay? It's not the same speed or efficiency, okay? And then, let's see here, let's go to lesbian women and straight men, okay? Both of them have larger right hemispheres than left hemispheres of the brain, but again, the lesbian women have an electrical problem in transmission from right to left side and also down the spinal cord. And so this is what's going on, okay? Now, it's one of those things where this MRI was just such a great study. Now, this is one of those things that is totally preventable. Unfortunately, it's not reversible, because when does the part of the brain that's involved with sexuality, when does that part of the brain form? Well, I went back into embryology, and it turns out somewhere between 3.5 weeks and 4 weeks of pregnancy, the neural tube begins to form, and that's when the brain is forming. If the mother's been avoiding fats, animal fats, and cholesterol for 6 months, 5 years, 10 years, trying to stay skinny and slim to be beautiful, guess what? The embryo is going to be cheated, and the brain's not going to form correctly. Okay. And so this is what's happening here. It blows my mind because of the MRI, we've been able to understand this. Okay. And this is not a reversible thing, but it is a preventable thing. It is a preventable thing. Now, let's look at something like Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer's disease, there's no known anatomical changes, but all kinds of biochemical changes. And the levels, again, of the cholesterol in the brain is way down. And in Alzheimer's disease, MS, Guillain-Barré syndrome, Parkinson's disease, demyelinization. And you always hear me talk about eating 3 eggs twice a day with soft yolks, which I had this morning for breakfast. But also, in addition to your 90 essential nutrients, I also want you to take our I-26. Our I-26, okay, is a wonderful product. And you read on the back of the label where it lists supplemental facts. It provides 25% of your daily requirements of cholesterol. Now, how many people are saying on their products that you have a requirement for cholesterol? They're bragging about having 25% of your daily requirements of cholesterol, okay? Our I-26 does that. It comes in powder, like this canister. It comes in chewables, which I like. And then, because it's easy to take a pocket full of those in a little Ziploc bag, okay? But then it also comes in liquid, okay? So I-26 is a great, great product because it says it right on the label, gives you 25% of your daily requirement, okay, of cholesterol. And it's made from whole eggs. It's made from whole eggs. And even if you're not sexually active, but in your childbearing years, you know, you go to a party and you have a few drinks and you get wooed by some guy and you get pregnant. Okay, now, what's going on with that baby? What's going on with that embryo? Okay, and so it may be too late when you know, gosh, I've missed a period. Well, a month has gone by. Well, a month, the neural tube is already forming. Is it going to be forming normally? Is it going to be forming in such a way that you're going to wind up with a gay or male or a lesbian female baby? Okay, now these can be wonderful people. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with these individuals as individuals, okay? But lesbian and gay behavior is not normal reproductive behavior, okay? And so I looked it up, and sure enough, the gay behavior and lesbian behavior has been reported in 450 species of animals. 450 species of animals. Now, I said this 25 years ago, that the gender issue was not a choice, that people were driven to go that direction, okay, by some deficiency, okay? And I said this 25 years ago, and people jumped all over me, so I just kept my mouth shut. And now we have so much hard data published, okay, that I can't ignore it anymore. And so Alzheimer's disease is very quickly reversible. Let's see here. MS is very quickly reversible. Guillain-Barré syndrome is very quickly reversible. Parkinson's disease is very easily reversible. Demyelinization is very easily reversible. How do we know this? Because I've done it hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times over and over and over. Okay. And if you just take a drug to relieve symptoms, it doesn't give your body anything it needs to heal itself and repair itself and function properly. Remember, pharmaceuticals deal with symptoms. And most people are grateful. Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful. I took this prescription my doctor gave me. It reduced my symptoms or eliminated my symptoms. Well, let's just look at something that's very, simple and common. Everybody understands arthritis. And you take a painkiller and your knee problems go away, your hip problems go away. But in 2 or 3 more years, suddenly now you need a double knee replacement or double hip replacement, because you didn't deal with giving the body what it needed to rebuild the knees, rebuild the hips. You just took a pain reliever, okay? And so ponder on this and think about this. And I want you to, again, remember this, okay? This is one of those things which is unimpeachable evidence. The whole sciences occurred and changes because of this. I originally understood that there was problems back in 1976. I found the first non-human case of cystic fibrosis, a terrible birth defect that every doctor knew was a terrible genetic disease of babies. Okay. And I found the first non-human case. I sent out microscopic slides of this monkey from Yerkes Primate Center at Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia, where I was a pathologist. I sent it out to like 5 medical schools. I said, I think this is cystic fibrosis. What do you think? But I didn't tell them it was from a monkey. I just said, I think this is cystic fibrosis. What do you think? And they all sent back in their letterhead, yeah, this is a classic example of cystic fibrosis. And then I told them it was from a monkey, and I think I had found the first non-human case of cystic fibrosis, and we could have animal models to study. Oh, they were all excited. And then some months later, when I told them it was just a simple genetic disease, when I examined, did biopsies of the tissues of all the other 24 baby monkeys in the colony there at Yerkes Primate Center in Atlanta, Georgia, they all had cystic fibrosis. Okay, so I checked the diets, and the behaviors there had changed. The diets took away the monkey pellets, all the vitamins, minerals in it from the mother and father, because they were picking on each other, and they gave them vegetables and fruit and things so they'd be busy eating as opposed to just plopping down the pellets. And so all these baby monkeys were born with the cystic fibrosis. And they fired me because they said it wasn't genetic. They fired me. And that's when I went back to school and became a naturopathic physician, because I knew the doctors were missing it very badly. And there had to be somebody in the patient's corner. Okay, speaking in boxing terms, I had to be in the corner of the patient because the medical system was way off on that one. And it turns out they've been way off. There are no genetically transmitted diseases. There are no genetically occurring birth defects. Well, how come so many people in your family have it? Well, that's because everybody eats the same way. Okay, that's why. Okay, and this is very simple stuff. So again, I urge you to use the I-26. I have my 3 eggs twice a day with soft yolks. It can be soft boiled, soft poached, soft scrambled butter, however you want to do it, so you're not bored with it all the time. And I put our salt on it. Okay. Our seasoned salt from Australia and New Zealand. We also have the Himalayan salt. It kind of comes and goes based on the supply, but this one is here. Okay. And then I want to remind everybody that it's one of those things where we have to be consciously, proactively dealing with the 90 essential nutrients. Okay, we deal with over 600 different diseases. We have 5,000 products to deal with that. And you can prevent so much. You can add 25 to 50 healthy years to your life by doing all this stuff correctly. So I urge you to get the book Epigenetics. I urge you to get the book Hell's Kitchen, which goes into the history of why we have these problems. When we switched from wood and coal as fuel, which we've been using for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, and everybody's using the wood ashes and coal ashes as a supplement in their food, and also as a garden fertilizers. We're getting all these minerals, okay, because we're using the ashes, which are 95, 98% minerals, only 2 or 3% carbon. Well, when we went to electricity at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882, suddenly now we gave up our source of minerals. And remember, they're talking about the lion diet now, okay, and the carnivore diet. Well, I spent 2 years in Africa, in the Tal province in South Africa, in the Mfolozi and Sishlui Game Reserve, working in the White Rhino Conservation Project. And I have the book Rhino Express to prove what I'm saying, okay? And we'd watch lions kill antelope and wildebeest and things like that. And the first thing it would eat would be the livers, where all the trace minerals are at. They would eat the heart and the lungs. They would eat the kidneys. They'd eat the arteries. They'd eat the fat. They'd drink the blood. And then they would drag the body of their kill underneath the shade of a tree, and they'd start working on the meat. So if you're just eating red meat, salt, and water, you're not getting everything you need, and you're going to wind up with a lot of problems. So don't get involved in the lion diet. The reason why they're getting benefit, okay, in their skin and their bowel movements and all that kind of stuff is because they're giving up gluten. They're giving up wheat, barley, rye, and oats when they're eating the lion diet and the carnivore diet, okay? There's no magic in just eating red meat, salt, and water. They don't say anything about avoid carbonated water. They just say water. Okay, so I guarantee you, to make things interesting, a lot of people are drinking carbonated water, which neutralizes stomach acid, so you cannot efficiently absorb minerals in this and the other. So 30 days on the lion diet and the carnivore diet. I want to have a 5-year follow-up on all these people and see what diseases they get and when they die and so forth. And let's see if you still want to go to the lion diet and the carnivore diet. Okay, now with that said, I'm going to go to Rebecca here. And anything you want to add to that, or any questions you want to ask?
Yeah, Dr. Wallach, I want to just add a little more about the I-26. So I-26 is a hyperimmune egg formula. Okay. With this hyperimmune egg formula, there are 6 patents, and it contains specific immunity against 26 pathogens. So what this immunity does is it helps to prevent the attachment of harmful bacteria within the digestive system, but it also promotes the growth of the beneficial bacteria and flora within the digestive system. So I recommend it for anyone that's got really bad digestive system, especially those that are dealing with constipation and diarrhea, those who just want to improve their digestive function, reduce digestive bloating and inflammatory disease. So it's really beneficial in doing so much within the digestive system. And Dr. Wallach, guess what? It's gluten-free, it's non-GMO, contains no antibiotics, anything like those that could weaken the immune system. It just builds it up, and it works so perfectly with your 90 essential nutrients in helping the body to have that good digestive tract that can better absorb the nutrients.
Yeah,
So,
thank you for that information. Of course, I like it says right on the label, boldly, I'm right on the label, offers 25% of your daily requirement of cholesterol. And people say, what do you mean daily requirement for cholesterol? My doctor says it's bad, stay away from it. It's like saying, stay away from vitamin A.
well, it's like stay away from oxygen, Dr.
Yeah,
Wallach.
there you go.
But it does come in a powder, 1 scoop is your daily dose. You can mix that in water. Do not take it within 2 hours of eggs. Okay, so eggs, standard eggs, and then this I-26 powder, they both have their own antibodies. And if you take them too close together, they will kind of cancel out the antibodies and prevent the best possible utilization of that within the digestive system. Okay, so just something that I wanted to add in there. It does, again, I started to say it comes in a powder. It also comes in capsules, and it comes in chewables that are in a French vanilla or a banana cream flavor. So really easy. I like the chewables myself. Because I eat one and then I want another one and then I want another one, and I stop at 3 because that's what our recommend daily dose, or the dosage recommendation is. So I am glad
you
that
you shouldn't take the I-26 within what, how many hours?
about 2 hours of having eggs.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had 3 eggs for breakfast this morning at 6:30. So after the show, I can have 3 of my chewable I-26 with no problem. So yeah, nice little snack too. And I think it's better than a sweet snack. And if anybody's craving sweets, but if you're on the minerals, you should not be craving anything. So just saying. But I, again, want to welcome everybody. A lot of people came in while Dr. Wallach was doing his monologue. Thank you so much for sharing that information, Dr. Wallach. I have a lot of people that are near and dear to me that basically they didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to act because of their religious faith. They were afraid to come out and share how they really felt about the opposite sex or same sex. And that should not be the case of somebody being able or having to fear because of something that they have no control over. But now we have information that can be used before conception, that if you are concerned about whether or not, any type of gender preference that your child has, it's something that you can take into your own hands and reduce occurrences if that's something that's important to you. So I'm glad that you were able to find that research, Dr. Wallach. I did put a link to it in the chat. So for those of
good.
you
Thank
who
you so
are
much.
on with us live, that publication, it actually came out in 2008.
2008.
And there's been 2008.
Wow.
And there's more research confirming that, Dr. Wallach. And as you mentioned, you've been saying that it's a nutritional deficiency for over 20 years. Well, 2008 was not 20 years ago. I mean, that's less than 15 years ago. And it's just proving that you were right in the beginning. And I love that more and more research is proving the things that you've been saying for 50 years, Dr. Wallach, 50 years or more.
Yeah. Of course, one of the things I would see is when I was in Africa, I was seeing all this gay behavior in between the male giraffes. There'd be a female giraffe standing there, and the boy giraffes are going after the boy giraffes. Okay. And it's very famous that giraffes have a very high rate of gayness, let's say. Okay. And then, gender issues. Then, if you grew up on a farm, and I think you grew up on a farm. Okay.
I did.
If you have a bull calf, and when he goes through puberty and he's chasing boys instead of girls, what happens? He becomes hamburger.
The best steak in the world, Dr. Wallach.
He becomes steak and hamburger, right? Because you don't want to be feeding this little bull calf if he's going after the boys instead of the girls. And so they would just knock him in the head and cook him and, make T-bone steaks and hamburger and all that kind of stuff. And just remember the lion diet as is being put forth now of just eating red meat, salt, and water is not the way lions eat in Africa. Okay. They eat the organ meats first, which has all the trace minerals, in it. Okay. And also cholesterol in the liver and the fat and so forth. And this is why you don't see much gayness in lions and tigers and bears. Okay. It's usually animals that are herbivorous, and fats and cholesterol are very low intake unless they're eating the seeds. If they're eating the seeds and the grain, they're going to get some cholesterol. If they're just eating the grass, they're not going to get much cholesterol by eating grass. Okay.
That's right. And Dr. Wallach, I'm super excited about something that's going to be starting next week. I mean, it's a lot of work, but I'm super excited about it still.
What's that?
And that's a new program that we have coming out Monday through Friday
Yeah.
from noon to 1.
What?
Called Ask Doc Daily. So for those of you who can't get enough of Dr. Wallach, we are going to be coming out with a new show also called Ask Doc Daily. And in this program, we're going to go more into specific things that are on the minds of the people around us. And I think we should start out with diet. I mean, it's the beginning of the year. People are looking at better health. Let's look at the different diets, bring out the benefits of each of one, the downfalls of each of one, and how none of them are complete without the 90 essential nutrients.
Okay,
right?
That's the plan. And of course, the Ask Doc Daily is not going to replace Ask Doc Live. The Ask Doc Live is still going to be on, right?
Correct. Yep,
Oh, I love it.
that's correct. I get you 7 hours a week, Dr. Wallach.
Wow.
Crazy. Okay, somebody had mentioned to me that I was hogging you, and I did have to say, well, I did start on the pig pack, so there we go. But Dr. Wallach, we have some hands up. So before we get to those hands, I just want to remind everybody that you are watching Ask Doc Live. If you were invited by somebody specific, make sure that you get back to them. Let them know that you jumped on the show and that you were able to gain some information that you will be able to utilize in your own life, and let them know what that information is. Now, we're going to be talking about products like the I-26 that we were just talking about, but as people come on and ask questions that they have in regards to their own health or the health of someone that they care about, Dr. Wallach is going to be giving protocols of products that we have found to make a difference. I mean, there are supplement companies left and right. You can take the products, it changes the color of your urine, and you feel no different. Well, we invite you to feel the difference in the products that we will be presenting to you today. Dr. Wallach was so instrumental in their development and making sure that only quality ingredients go into this. And his son, Steve, is carrying on that legacy of, folks, we are worth that extra amount of time to find the products, the raw ingredients that go into the products, and make no compromise. So we are investing.
I would like to throw something in there at this moment, if I may.
Go ahead.
Let me throw something in. An example, when we started Longevity over 30 years ago, we didn't want to be like everybody else, grinding up limestone and clay to put powder into our pellets to make supplements. Okay, because everybody, when you look at all the vitamins and minerals, everybody who had a vitamin mineral supplement had all the same vitamins and minerals as the next guy. Okay, there's nothing different. So we spent about 6 months looking around. It was very obvious that the Hunzas, with a life expectancy of 120 versus, and it's real because the what should I say, the one that has the best example is Jean Calment from France. She died in 1997 at 122 years, 164 days. So we know that people can live that long in modern times, okay? So she did that, but we wanted to do something different. So when we found the Hunzas and we really studied what it was that they were doing differently, why was their life expectancy 120 and our life expectancy in America is supposed to have the best healthcare system in the world? Why was our life expectancy 75? Okay, it didn't make sense. Well, we came out with our sports drink after 6 months of research, and our sports drink has 75 minerals in it. Our sports drink Rebound has 75 minerals in it. Okay, Red Bull has 1 magnesium. I repeat that, Red Bull has 1 magnesium. And I think they did that because their hero, Bruce Lee, who was considered by every country in the world to be the exercise guru, the weight loss guru, he died at 32. Okay, he died at 32. He looked great at 25, but he looked very bad at age 31, and he died at 32 because he was not doing everything right. He only took 1 mineral, magnesium. That's the only mineral he supplemented with, was magnesium, because he believed he could get everything else. Well, lions are eating bones and cartilage and ligaments and tendons and livers and hearts and all that kind of stuff. And of course, Bruce Lee wasn't eating all that stuff. He was eating spaghetti for lunch and dinner and so on. He was getting lots of calories, but he wasn't getting the minerals because he only supplemented with 1. So Red Bull has magnesium. We have 75 minerals, plant-derived colloidal minerals, very highly absorbable, digestible, and usable. And we have it in 3 forms. We have the sticks, okay, which I use a lot of. We have it in the canisters, okay, which has 36 servings there. There's 36 in a box, and in the canister, there's 36 servings. And then we have the 12-ounce cans, okay.
In the box, Dr. Wallach, there's 30 individual sachets. So one for each day.
There you go. And then in the cans, okay, Rebound, it does have carbonation. So I pop 2 of these before bedtime, say every other night or every night, and I'll drink 1 with breakfast, and I'll drink 1 with lunch, or maybe within a couple hours after lunch. And these this is how I get a lot of my minerals, but I'm still taking the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack twice a day. Okay, I have many witnesses. I do this every day. I take a Healthy Brain and Heart Pack at breakfast. I take a Healthy Brain and Heart Pack at dinner time. I take my Rebound. I take I think it's like 80 to 90 different pills, tablets, and capsules twice a day, in addition to everything else. Okay. And so I'm 83 going on 84. And most people think I'm in my 50s, early 60s. They can't believe I'm 83, 84. And when you look at all these famous people and famous athletes, I mean, even Pele just died at 82. One of the most famous modern athletes, a soccer player. He had won every award that every athlete could win. He just died a couple of days ago at 82. Pele died at 82, the guy. I mean, I think he took the place of Bruce Lee. When Bruce Lee died, I think Pele was the guy that everybody looked at. Okay. And so anyway, I'm sorry for interrupting.
No worries. What was I talking about?
We were talking about.
Let's go to the hands, Dr. Waller.
Huh?
Let's go to the hands that are up.
Okay, let's go to the hands that are up.
All right, Rosemary, thank you for being on with us and for having your camera on. Go ahead and unmute yourself. You are on live with Dr. Wallach.
Hi, Dr.
Hello.
Wallach.
Hi.
I've been on longevity, been on the 90 for about 7 years, and I've been on the Ultimate Daily Classic, and my blood pressure is still high. Is there something else I should be doing?
Okay, so you have a high blood pressure issue. How much do you weigh?
125.
125.
So-
Okay. Okay. Are you eating any buckwheat?
No,
Are you eating any wheat, bran, or oats?
no,
Even gluten-free oats?
no.
There are no such things as gluten-free oats. I'm just testing you. Okay. All right. So you may want to be using our ultimate enzymes. I'd go
Okay.
ahead and take 2 of those, say 5 to 10 minutes for each meal with a couple ounces of water, and that'll help you make sure you're absorbing these nutrients. Okay.
Okay.
And so also, I would take, if you're not taking it, take the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, get 2 bottles a month of them. So you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner time. And they will support healthy blood pressure, healthy blood flow through blocked arteries in the brain, the heart, the kidneys, and every place else, including the legs and so forth. But if you're on medication for the high blood pressure, do not cold turkey off the medication. But as your blood pressure begins to come down, you can slowly reduce the medication based on the numbers. It usually takes about anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks. Okay. And so be sure to add that Ultimate Daily Classic tablets 3 twice a day. And then again, make sure you're staying away. Everybody in the household's got to be gluten-free because you get cross-contaminated in the laundry, the bed, the couches, the rugs. And we want our intestines to look like a shag rug. We have to have those villi, which increase the absorptive surface by 98%. And then when you eat gluten or have a gluten issue, okay, those are phagopyrines out of buckwheat. Those villi go away. And instead of looking like a shag rug, your intestines look like a plastic tube, and you cannot efficiently absorb nutrients. So you want to find out what these other people are eating during the day. They're away from the house. Maybe they're sneak eating pancakes for breakfast, waffles for breakfast. They're eating hamburger buns. They're eating spaghetti like Bruce Lee did. And you're getting cross-contaminated in the laundry. So that's a possibility. So you want to check all that out, okay? You may have to, if you have people who won't get off of the bad stuff, you may want to run an empty load with all the detergents and everything and clean out the washer and dryer and clean out the filter for the dryer before you put your stuff in there. Okay, so look at those kind of things. Wouldn't hurt to get a hair analysis. You get the book Rare Earths Been Cures, chapters 10 and 11, page 272 is where it starts. Tells you how to collect the hair, how to package it, where to ship it. And we'll find out a lot about your absorption, your digestion. We'll find out what nutrients you're deficient in. And so it wouldn't hurt if you haven't had in the last year, if you haven't had a hair analysis, get that book, Rare Earths Been Cures, chapter 10, 11, page 272. Let's get a hair analysis and we can be more specific. Okay.
Okay, Rosemary, if you want to unmute yourself, there was a little bit of background noise.
Yeah, it was
There we
my
go.
clock.
Oh, okay. So did you have any other questions for Dr. Wallach?
No, that was all.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right,
Look forward
well,
to hearing
thank
from you.
Thank you so much, Rosemary, for being on with us today. We love it whenever people come on live with their cameras, bringing information about their questions, because other people are going to have questions similar. And as we're going through, if you think of anybody that's dealing with or experiencing any of the conditions that any of the people coming on and asking questions with us are experiencing as well, think about it. You may have heard the solution to something that they have been dealing with for decades without any positive results. So make sure that you share this program with others. That's what this is for. This is a resource that can be used around the world to help make stronger homes, communities, and nations. Right, Dr. Wallach?
Correct. You get an A+.
Awesome. Well, let's go to the next hand that is up, Dr. Wallach. And Ryan, if you're able to come on camera with us and unmute, you are on live with Dr. Wallach.
Good morning, Doc and Ms. Dukes. Thanks for having me on. Can you hear me?
Yes, we
I
hear you great.
apologize. Is the name Robin?
Ryan,
Okay. Where are you from?
Texas.
Texas?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How can we help you today?
I have some several symptoms and several questions. Is that fine?
Okay, you have to speak up just a little bit. You're speaking too softly. I can barely hear you.
I have several
Better.
symptoms and questions.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I weigh 130 pounds. I am 5'6" and 25 years old. My symptoms, I believe I developed varicocele on the left side 3 days ago. I have slight pain on the right side. Both testes feel firmer, and I have non-ischemic priapism a week ago, and sitting too long causes jolts of pain to my inner thighs, feet, and inner knee. Those are the symptoms for now. And I was just wondering if
So you have joint pain and muscle cramps.
No. It's just sending jolts of pain to my inner thigh and feet and knee if I sit too long.
Okay. Okay, let me ask you a couple of questions. I know you're only 20, you say you're 25 years old. Do you have any white, gray, or silver hair in your mustache or hair?
No.
Is that a no?
No, sir, I do.
Okay.
I don't have.
Okay. Do you have any ringing in your ears?
Yes.
Okay. How many times a night you wake up to urinate? Once, 3 times, 5 times?
Once.
Okay. Do you have any balance problems or dizziness or vertigo?
Occasionally.
Okay. All right. Do you have any change in your voice?
Yes.
Okay. So you have voice changes. That's the 9th cranial nerve being squeezed. Getting up at night to urinate, even just once, can be a squeezing of the spinal cord, and the spinal cord is telling your urinary bladder to urinate. It's not a prostate problem because it happens in women, and women don't have prostate glands. Tinnitus ringing in the ears is a squeezing of the vestibular branch of the 8th cranial nerve. Okay. And I want you to get the book and CD. It's all in your head. And I'm going to show you something. This is my favorite picture. Okay. The top picture is a picture of a human skull, normal. It's a 1/4 inch thick. You look at the bottom, it's a picture of a human skull. It's 1.5 inches to 2 inches thick, and that's osteoporosis of the skull. When you have osteoporosis of the skull, the healthy bone is replaced by connective tissue. Okay, it's replaced by connective tissue. And that connective tissue squeezes the 12 pairs of cranial nerves, squeezes the spinal cords, and you get 37 different diseases, which are talked about in this book and in this CD. Okay, so I want you to, go to Ask Doc Live, and Rebecca's going to give out her ability to get this to you. So when we're done here, Rebecca, give out your numbers so people can get the CD from you and the book from you. Okay. And this is going to help rebuild everything, and all your symptoms can go away. This is not a genetic thing. It's not an autoimmune thing. Your body's not attacking itself. You're just, and what do you eat for breakfast?
White rice, soft boiled eggs, salmon, vegetables.
What was the last one?
Vegetables.
Okay, good. Do you ever eat any buckwheat or pancakes, or ever eat
No.
anything like
That was like more than a month ago.
I'm sorry?
More than a month ago.
Oh, you gave it up more than a month ago.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but for 24 years you were eating gluten or buckwheat or both.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So you did give it up. Okay, a month ago. Okay, good. You're on the start. Okay, so you should start seeing benefit here pretty soon. Wouldn't hurt for you to get a hair analysis. Also, get the book Rare Earths and Cures. And again, Rebecca will give you a phone number that you can go to get a hold of these things. But chapter 1011, page 272, that's going to give you a lot of information. And don't forget to use, and don't just use salt from the grocery store. You want to use our seasoned salt from Australia and New Zealand. It has a lot of the minerals in it from the seaweed, and so 8 or 9 different seaweeds. We have the Himalayan salt. We have I think it's 8 different sources for this minerals. Okay, for these minerals, and we're the only ones in the world that put them in our supplements. Everybody else just grinds up limestone and clay, and so everybody else's minerals are, they get 12 or 15 or 20, something like that. We're the only ones where you get 75. Okay, there's 75 minerals. There's 75 nutritional minerals in here. In fact, I had a call just a couple of days ago from Theo Ratliff, okay, the guy whose picture is on here. A great story. He was your age when I first dealt with him. He was 24 years old. He had bone-to-bone arthritis in both knees. He had the cartilage slipped off his hip. He fractured his shooting arm wrist on his right hand. And the Atlanta Hawks terminated him, and he lost his $35 million contract. He was, basketball player. And we made the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack for him. We made the Rebound for him. And he came back 6 months later, got his position back. He played for 11 more years and made $100 million because he was perfect and never had a bad day for 11 years playing professional basketball. So, and he called me the other day and just wishing me a happy holidays and Merry Christmas and everything. And he was very, very, very good guy. He took a percentage of his income, and he bought some property, okay, in Georgia and Tennessee, and built places where kids who were having problems physically and mentally could go to and get healed, and using the Youngivity products. And I thought that was such a beautiful thing he did for the community, and he continues to do that. Okay, but he was 24 years old when I started him on the products and made the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack for him, and also the Rebound for him. Okay, so we can all thank Theo Ratliff for that. Okay, well, let's hear from you every couple of weeks. But Rebecca, give out your ability to get these books and CDs and hair analysis and all that kind of stuff to him.
Well, Dr. Wallach, the best place to go is drjwallach.com. That's where you're going to find all of Dr. Wallach's publications.
DR.
Yeah, D.R.J. Wallach,
Yeah.
WALLACH.com. Now, Dr. Wallach, he had mentioned about having some concerns with the testicles. Would you recommend the Zera test for him?
Yeah, Zera test, of course, is 3 eggs twice a day. And he can also have the I-26 once a day or twice a day, whatever he wants. But also, you're exactly right. Zera test, he could take 3 of those twice a day. I do that. again, 83 years old. I'm 5'6", weigh 142 pounds. And I've never had a problem with chasing girls, but it's one of those things where just, because it's a great product for males, and people, guys would ask me, well, what do you do at your age to, make sure everything's working? Well, I take 3 of those Zerotest twice a day. And, it comes, in tablets, and we have Zerafem for girls. We don't just apply things only to boys. We have Zerafem for girls, 3 of those twice a day. And it's one of those things where it makes girls girly and it makes boys boys. Okay, good question.
All about solutions, right, Dr. Wallach?
Yep.
Awesome. Well, Dr. Wallach, we got 4 minutes before the break. Would you like to take one more hand or go on break?
Let's take one more hand before we go for a break.
Okay, let's go to Joe. Joe, go ahead and unmute yourself. And if you'd like to come on camera with us, that would be fabulous as well. You are on live with Dr. Wallach. Oh, let's try to unmute you one more time. There you go.
Okay, am I here?
I hear your voice loud and clear.
Okay. Good morning, Dr. Wallach.
Good morning.
I have a
I
question.
apologize. Is your name Jill or Joe?
Joe. It's
Joe.
it's Jody. I go by Joe. That's
Okay.
fine. So I did the hair analysis test, and I have a couple questions. They recommended some minerals, some products for me. I am having a trouble with the copper. I was just taking a little bit of it because it upset my stomach, and then I would eat food and I took it, and then I started vomiting after I took the copper.
Okay, well, stop there for a minute. Stop
Mhm.
there for a minute. Was this a recommendation by the hair analysis company?
Yes, and I was doing longevity products, but they were making me also sick to my stomach and getting very, very sore all over my body.
Okay.
So
How
yeah.
much you weigh? How much you weigh?
I weigh 137. I'm 5'8", and I'm 56 years old.
Do you have any ringing in your ears?
No.
How many times you wake up at night to urinate?
Oh,
Once, 3
maybe
times, 5 times?
maybe once a week I wake up at night to
Oh,
urinate.
okay. So it's not a big deal.
Uh-uh.
Okay, I apologize. You said you're 56?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Any high blood pressure or diabetes?
No, actually, one doctor said that I was pre-diabetic.
Okay. All right. Well, here's what I would suggest. Disregard what that hair analysis company is saying, because they have the standard supplement program. Okay. So the first thing you have to do is get rid of all the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, brown, and brown oats. Okay. No wheat, brown, and brown oats. And no buckwheat. And then I want you, eat like an Asian, eat rice and sweet potatoes and white potatoes and that kind of stuff. Nothing fried. Okay.
I'm allergic to rice.
Oh, well, that's why we have, let's see here. You're allergic to everything. What do you eat?
I can eat eggs, and I can eat apples and some meat, not chicken or turkey. I can eat some like beef, non-fatty kind of beef.
Have you tried liver? Beef liver
Oh,
or calf liver?
yes, I cannot handle it. That also makes me want to throw it. But I have it in pills. I mean, I can do a pill of it.
Okay, and so at any rate, what I want you to do is make sure that you're getting the 90. Okay, so there's several ways to do it. Number one, you can have you tried our Rebound?
Yeah, and so I've always been allergic to bromelain and pineapple, and so I can handle Rebound like once or twice a week in a small amount, and then my body starts getting sore again. And the same with the 90 Essentials. I had to stop them because I started getting achy all over. So I don't know if I have a
We got to do some work on
detoxification.
you. We got to do some work
Yeah.
on you. I need to see that hair analysis. So next time you come on, I want you to have sent me or texted.
Send it to doc@drjwallach.com, Jody, if you would.
RJ.
I need to see that hair analysis because
Yeah.
Sounds like sounds like you're allergic to oxygen and water.
Well, thankfully not that, but yeah, I have a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
So at any rate, we need to really look at the details here before I can make any more recommendation, because you say you tried that, you get bad. You tried that, you get bad. You tried this, you get bad. There's something else going on there. Okay. Do you live in a household where there's other people? Do you have a spouse? Do you have kids? Do you have brothers and sisters, mom and dad?
Yes, I have a spouse, and then our daughter moved back with us. She's also very sick, but
Okay. What kind of, do you work outside the home?
no.
Okay. What kind of work does your husband do?
Athletics. He's an athletic director.
Okay. Does he eat oatmeal for breakfast?
No.
What does he eat for breakfast?
He does your the shake, the banana cream shake,
The fit
from
shake.
Longevity. Yeah, the fit shake. And then we have gluten-free scones. So he does that sometimes for breakfast. He takes like the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack and the little packets of
Okay.
yeah.
Okay,
So
well,
that's
make
what he
sure
does.
he's not fudging and eating some gluten or buckwheat outside the house, and then you're washing his clothes with your clothes, you're getting cross-contaminated. Okay, so make sure that's not happening. And then let's talk again after I see the hair analysis, okay?
Okay, great. I actually have it, but I didn't know how to undo my video thing. So I will just send that to you next time. And the next question I
Okay.
have is, how do you do a hair analysis test for dogs? I called Malin. She told me to contact you via this.
You just do the same thing. You clip some hair off of them and just tell them it's from a dog.
Where do I clip the hair? In the back of their neck, the nape of their neck also, or?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, the hair in
Alrighty.
front of the body is the same as their hair in the back of the body. Same thing.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Okay. Alrighty.
Okay.
And yep. Oh, I have one other question. Whenever I take calcium, I was tasting the Osteoflex. I get constipated very, very badly. And so I didn't know if you had any ideas
Do
with
you
that.
get a bad reaction from drinking water?
It depends on what water.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, there's something deeper going on here. And so I need to see the hair analysis. I mean, everything you put in your mouth, you have a reaction to. So there's something else going on here. So I don't know if it's you have osteoporosis of the skull. And so if you don't have the book, it's all in your head. You need to look
I
at
have it. I read it.
Okay, read it again.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, because you may have osteoporosis of the skull because you have so many things going on there. It's amazing you're still alive. Okay, so let's get that hair analysis to us, and we will get back to you. Make sure we have your phone number and all that kind of stuff. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
God bless.
You too.
Thank you, Jody.
Thank you.
All right. Well, Dr. Wallach, let's go ahead and take a break. Everybody, you are watching Ask Doc Live. And this program, again, is being brought to you by AskDocLive.com. We do have a link to many of Dr. Wallach's books on our website. You can go there. Some of our Kindle or some of his books are in Kindle and available through the website, AskDocLive.com. But then there's also, if you don't find it there, go to drjwallach.com and you will find all of Dr. Wallach's publications. And we're getting ready to come out with a brand new website, hopefully after the first of the year. And it's going to have even more of what Dr. Wallach offers in bundles, even to help you save money. So I'm excited about that. And for those of you who love sharing Dr. Wallach's book, we're also coming out with an affiliate program. So in a digital world and in a world where, well, even just in a world where you're sharing about a product that you love, if you're buying it from the corner store, they're not giving you anything to share your testimony or to help promote that product. But in our world, we think people deserve to be thanked for sharing information that can help others. So we're coming out with an affiliate program at Wellness Publications that will allow you to be able to have your very own link that you can share with others. And then whenever they purchase from your link, you will get a thank you check. from Wellness Publications. Just one thing that Dr. Milan has agreed to put together to help get the information out. So look forward to that. That's going to be drjwallach.com. And you are watching Ask Doc Live, sponsored by AskDocLive.com and the good people at ZBS Radio Network. We will be right back after this break. All right, and we are back on Ask Doc Live. My name is Becca Dukes. I am the host of this program, and it is a great honor that I'm able to host this 2 hours with you and with the amazing Dr. Joel Wallach. So Dr. Wallach is here with us. What are you wanting me to do, Dr. Wallach?
Well, I want to make a correction in your speech. You said you're the host. No, you're the hostess.
Hostess. Yes. Okay. Yes, I am the hostess of this program. Thank you very much, Dr. Wallach, for correcting me on that. And Dr. Wallach,
Yes,
you've
ma'am.
been doing this for how long?
What?
How long have you been looking at nutrition and its effect on the body?
Since I was 9 years old.
So 9 years old.
Yeah. See, I had Tourette syndrome very badly. 20 doctors couldn't heal me. 20 doctors in 5 years could not do anything positive for me. They were going to put me in an institution and study me because I had really severe Tourette syndrome. I would take on, 30-year-old men and beat them up. I was only 9 years old because I'm throwing 50-pound bales of hay and stuff like that, very strong. But I was really a wreck. And so it was a Friday night. My parents were packing my clothes to put me in this facility on Monday. And I'm sitting at the end of the bed saying, why am I having all these problems? Why doesn't anybody else have the problems? And I'm saying, it's got to be something I'm doing wrong. It must be me because nobody else has the problems. And so the next morning, Saturday morning, because I'm going to this facility on Monday, I go to the barn and I throw my cereal out. I've been eating oatmeal for breakfast forever. So I threw my cereal out to the chickens and my Wheaties out to the chickens. And I just got a kind of like a small bucket, maybe a couple of quart bucket full of the alfalfa pellets that we gave the calves that had all these vitamins and minerals in it. And so I put that in my cereal bowl, put milk on it, and I had them. I had the alfalfa pellets with all these vitamins and minerals in there. I had like 30 different vitamins and minerals in those pellets. And had it for breakfast on Saturday morning, had it for breakfast on Sunday morning, had a breakfast for Monday morning. At 3 o'clock on Monday afternoon, I'm cured. After 5 years and 20 doctors and tens of thousands of dollars my parents spent trying to get me healed, guess what? I cured myself in 3 days or 2.5 days just by taking vitamins and minerals. And so I knew when I was 9 years old that doctors didn't know what they were doing. Because how could a 9-year-old figure this out? And all these doctors, these 20 famous doctors in central Missouri and St. Louis and Illinois and everything, pediatricians, psychiatrists, they couldn't figure it out. Okay, they're just giving me drugs. And so that's when I started studying nutrition and health. I didn't say anything. And after just a couple of weeks at church, people were whispering and pointing at me because I was very obviously very, very different. And people would come up to me, well, I have this problem. Oh, what do I do about this? I'm only 9 years old. I said, only 9 years old. What do I, they're freaking me out because they wanted me to solve their problems when I was 9. So that's how I started studying nutrition and health.
That just goes to prove how simple it is.
Yeah, even a 9-year-old could figure it out.
It takes a little bit of discipline, but folks, when you feel the difference, you don't want to go back. And I had been dealing with pain, Dr. Wallach, since I was 8. But it took until I was 43 before I heard your message and stopped following what the doctors had been telling me to do for 35 years.
Okay, now, have any of those doctors who were giving that misinformation or have any of those passed away and died?
I have no clue. I didn't follow up with them. That makes me a bad coach because here I have a solution and I didn't follow up with the people that were giving me the wrong information. But no, I'm not a bad coach because I'm taking today and the information I have now and spreading it far and wide as much
You
as
are one
I
of God's
possibly can.
angels. You are one of God's angels. I'll be a testimony to that.
Well, thank you, Dr. Wallach. I appreciate that. I accept and receive. And oh, we have so many people, Dr. Wallach, that are waking up
Okay.
and wanting to know what they can do to help themselves. So there was a question in the comments here, and Teresa wants to know, what can I do for thinning loss of hair? So there's a lot of different things that can play into somebody losing hair, female or
Sure.
male. So if we were going to recommend just the standard, making sure you get all that you need with the symptom of hair loss, we don't know if there's a thyroid issue or digestive issues. What would you recommend, Dr. Wallach?
Okay. Well, the first thing we want to do is get rid of the bad stuff to maximize absorption. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no bar, rye, and oats, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. They all got to go. Even the diet ones got to go. And then we don't have a weight on her. And so let's go by 100 pounds of body weight. I want her to have one healthy brain and heart pack per month. It has 215 nutrients in it, healthy brain and heart pack, but it still has the core in there, the 90. The healthy start pack is the core. Okay, I want her to have one healthy brain and heart pack per 100 pounds of body weight. If she weighs 140, 150 pounds, I'd have her go with 2 healthy brain and heart packs, a full dose of breakfast dinner. If she weighs 110, 120, 130, I'd have her take 1 healthy brain and heart pack per month and take a half a dose during the breakfast, half a dose of everything at dinner time. And then I want her also to have the MSM. She can take, again, per 100 pounds of body weight, 1 bottle of MSM. So if she only weighs 110, 120 pounds or less, would be 1 bottle a month. So you could take 3 twice a day. That's going to help her support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, which includes the skin. Okay. The skin is 2/3 connective tissue, and the hair follicles, require a happy relationship with the skin. Okay. And then I also want her to have the hair, skin, and nails. I want her to have 3 of those twice a day. It's 2 bottles a month. And let's see here. I also want her to have the collagen peptides. Take a scoop of that with her morning drink, scoop with her evening drink. That's going to take 2 of the standard size canisters of our collagen peptides. A scoop of that at breakfast, scoop of that at dinner time. And don't forget the hair, skin, and nails. Take 3 of those twice a day. I do that. That's part of my regimen. Even though I take all this other stuff, I still take my hair, skin, and nails 3 twice a day. It's a small bottle. And gives.
Dr. Wallach, she added in here that she has no thyroid. So what would you add for that?
Oh, she has. Okay. They took her thyroid gland out. Okay.
Sounds like it's possible that it was removed, and she is 194. So we're going to
194 pounds.
Increase the recommendations that were just made.
Yeah, just double everything.
Oh, no thyroid issues. Thank you, Teresa. Big difference.
Yeah, that's what I thought I heard. No thyroid issues. Okay.
So, all right.
If there was a thyroid issue, obviously she could take our Ocean's Gold, take 3 of those twice a day, or she could take the, let's see here, Z-Radical. She could take a Z-Radical. I know that's one of your favorites, a Z-Radical. She could take an ounce twice a day. If she weighs 194 pounds, an ounce twice a day of Z-Radical would be 2 parts a month. Or the Fucoid Z is the pill form. I take, because I travel so much, I take the Fucoid Z capsules and the Ocean's Gold for my thyroid. Okay.
All right. Sounds good, Dr. Wallach. And let's go to the next hand that is up. And Gyla, you are on live with Dr. Wallach. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay, I'm
And
unmuted.
you are unmuted. If you'd like to come on camera, you're more than welcome to.
I'm not sure if I can do that because I just can't find the app and I don't want to waste time. I can't find where I was. Sorry. I'll
Okay,
try.
No
apologize.
worries. I just sent
Apologize.
you a
What's your
request.
name?
I just hit the okay.
What's your name?
Gyla.
Gyla. Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay. My question is, I'm unvaxxed, COVID and flu vaccine for years. I'm engaged to a man that got the 2 COVID vaxes, and he has a 5G phone, and I've read a lot about issues. Once we get married and we have sexual intercourse, is that going to affect my health because he's had the vaccine?
No.
Okay. What about the 5G issue? Is that something real that you believe in as far as the
Okay. How much you weigh?
magnetic
How
waves?
much you weigh? Gyla, how much you weigh?
I weigh 135.
Okay. Do you have any absolute issues like high blood pressure, diabetes, pre-diabetes, anything like that?
No, I have nothing.
Okay. So you're basically healthy. You're just,
Yes, I'm
look-
67. I'm a very young 67-year-old.
okay. All right. And you don't have any rain in the ears or dizziness or waking up 5 times a night to urinate, anything like that?
No. Oh, yeah, I wake up sometimes to urinate a couple of times, maybe a night.
Maybe
or
2, 3
once.
times a night?
Maybe probably 2 at the max usually. But it's not every night. Some nights I sleep all the way through, but it's unusual to sleep all the way through. So maybe 1 or 2 times a night.
Okay. So it's not unusual to urinate twice a night?
No, it's not unusual.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you may have the beginnings of osteoporosis of the skull, where your skull is squeezing the spinal cord telling the urinary bladder to urinate. That's, you don't have a
Okay.
prostate gland, so it can't be a prostate issue, right?
Right, right,
I've never met a woman that had a prostate gland. Okay.
right,
It's an anatomical impossibility. Okay.
right.
All right. So I do want you, if you don't have it, to get the book and the CD. It's all in your head, and it's going to have the recipe that I'm going to give you here. Okay.
Okay. Uh-huh.
And the recipe is, of course, get rid of all the bad stuff. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no butter, rye oats, no buckwheat, no sugar. Let's see here. Absolutely no peanuts. I want you to also stay away from, let's see here, carbonated drinks. If you're going to drink
Oh, I drink those all the time. From the health food store, but I drink them a lot for the
what,
caffeine.
carbonated drinks.
2 or 3 a day. It's Zevia. It's sweetened with stevia, but it's carbonated.
Okay, you got to get rid of the carbonated drinks. That's going to be a big problem.
Okay.
Okay, because it neutralizes stomach acid, which is required to absorb minerals and digest food.
Okay.
Okay, so you cannot have carbonated drinks. Our Rebound, our sports drink, has 100 nutrients in it, 75 minerals, and 25 vitamins, amino acids. Red Bull has 1 mineral, magnesium. That's why Bruce Lee died. He only supplemented with magnesium. He did not supplement with the other 59 essential minerals. Okay, he died at 32. He was the fitness guru in every country in the world when he was 25, and then he died at 32 because he did everything wrong. Okay.
Who was that? Bruce Lee? Did you say Bruce Lee?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because the
You know,
guy
the
that I'm
the Kung Fu
involved
guy.
with his ministry, he loves Bruce Lee. That's his
Yeah,
mentor.
the Kung Fu guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was everybody's hero. He was my hero. But then I learned that he had gluten for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and snacks, and he was only supplementing with magnesium. Even his B vitamins he got from Brewerges. He didn't take B vitamin supplements. He just ate Brewerges and assumed that it was going to have B vitamins in it.
Okay. What's the name of the supplement again? Or can I don't want to take up your time on the call.
Okay, so here we go. Last
Okay.
time right now.
All right.
135 pounds. You're right at that cusp. But especially since you're planning on getting married and you may want to have kids and all this kind of stuff. And
Oh, I'm
so,
67. I don't think I'm going to have kids.
well, if you're still cycling, you
never
could.
know.
Okay.
Oh, no, I'm not. Not
Okay.
since 2005.
Okay. So let's go 135 pounds. You're right at that cusp. If you have some issues, I'd go with 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, a full dose of everything twice a day. If you don't have issues, I'd start out with 1 healthy brain and heart pack a day, take a half a dose of everything twice a day. And then I want you to get 1 bottle of MSM. So you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner time. And they're going to support and promote maintenance repair, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone, makes bone itself, and skin. Okay. I also want you to get the collagen peptides. Take a scoop of that with your morning drink, scoop of that with your evening drink. Okay. Then I want you to take the Beyond OsteoFX. Take a scoop of that with your morning drink, scoop of that with your evening drink. And if you're taking the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, you'll be getting the Beyond OsteoFX as part of it. Okay. And then I also want you to get vitamin D3, take 3 of those twice a day. And if you're pre-diabetic, I want you to take our sweeties, take 3 of those twice a day. They will support healthy blood sugar metabolism. Do you ever get sleepy or tired within an hour after eating a big dinner?
Sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, you may have some pre-diabetes. You have some reactive hypoglycemia after a big meal, especially if you have carbohydrates in that meal. You'll produce too much insulin and knock your blood sugar down. So you want that sweeties. You can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner time. It'll be 2 bottles a month of the sweeties. And then any blood pressure issues?
No.
Okay, good. All right. Then don't forget a Rebound. Somebody your weight, you could go through 2 cans a day or 2 sticks a day. They come like this. There's 30 of these sticks in a bottle or a box, in a box. And they have the 75 minerals and 25 vitamins, amino acids in there, no carbonation. Then we have the, let's see here. Also, we have the Rebound in the canister here. It has 36 servings in it. And then, of course, we have 12-ounce cans, but there is carbonation. So I like to pop the tops in 2 of them before bedtime, put them in the refrigerator so they off-gas the carbonation at night. They're flat in the morning, all the bubbly's gone. So I have 1 with breakfast and 1 with lunch, or maybe half with lunch, or a whole one with lunch, or with an hour after lunch. And it has 100 nutrients in it. Red Bull has 1 mineral, magnesium. And I guarantee you they did that because Bruce Lee only had 1 mineral, magnesium. And they bet on the wrong horse because he died at 32. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So
Okay.
get back to us every couple of weeks. We'd like to hear what's going on. And thank you so much, Kyla.
Thank you so much. I'm a nurse. I'm an RN, but I couldn't write that fast. So can I get with somebody so I'm not taking up your time to get this all down?
Okay. Well, 2 things. Number one, it's in the book. It's all in
Okay.
your head and the CD. It's
Okay.
also in the book, Epigenetics.
Okay.
But this is recorded.
Oh, okay.
And so you
So I
can
can go back and
and
listen.
so Rebecca will tell you how to call back and get the information and listen to it 100 times. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, doctor. Take
Well,
care.
thank
God
you
bless
for your good work helping people. God bless you.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
thank you. You too.
And you can also go to Ask Doc Live. If you were invited by somebody specific, or you have a longevity distributor that you're working with, make sure that you get back with them for the best ordering options. But on our website, we have a contact us. You could submit your question there. Remind us of who you are and what you're experiencing, and we can get that protocol to you as well.
Thank you so much.
You're
Okay.
very welcome. Dr. Wallach, let's go to the next hand up, and I think it's Ryan. Ryan, did you have another question? Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Sorry, Doc. I have another question. If I were to take the full dose twice a day of the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, I would be getting I think 800 micrograms of selenium. I'm just afraid of
Well, I weigh
acute-
142 and I've been doing that for 75 years.
Okay. The second question, should I supplement an extra magnesium to achieve the 2-to-1 ratio of calcium to magnesium? Because OsteoFX has
No,
1200.
what I would do is use the Rebound, because it has, like I say, 75 minerals in it, including the magnesium. You don't want to just pick on one nutrient. That's which I say, that is the sick mentality of the medical system, where they pick you need 90 essential nutrients. You need 60 minerals, and they just say, oh, you need some zinc. what a stupid thing to say. Okay, you
Um,
need all 90 essential nutrients. And if you don't know what you've been taking or if how much you're absorbing, get the hair analysis, get the book. Okay, get the book, Rare Earths and Cures, go to chapter 10, 11, go to page 272, tells you how to collect the hair, how to package it, where to ship it. Don't forget to put the check in there or the money order, because the lab won't run the test without the money. And you're going to get specific information about individual nutrients. And I rarely tell people to take one specific nutrient, because usually they have a relationship with several other nutrients. And if you take a lot of one, it makes the others deficient and that sort of thing. And so you really have to pay attention to a little bit more detail than just, well, my doctor said take some zinc. Bruce Lee said take magnesium. Okay, that's why he died at 32, because he's way offbeat on those things. Of course, he didn't have any official training in nutrition, but he did a lot of reading of books that were on the market from people who were self-anointed nutritionists and dietitians and stuff like that. And so he would read all these books, and he came up with all these schemes based on other people's concoctions, okay, which was an incorrect thing to do, and it cost him his life. He died at 32. Just before he died, his last 3 months, he knew he had made a horrible mistake, and he went from having the diet that he'd had for 20-something years. He just ate fruit and vegetables for 3 months, and then he just died suddenly. 32, 49 years ago. Okay.
Yes, sir. One more
All
question.
right, thank you, Ryan.
Okay, sorry. Thank you.
Was there another question?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Is the varicocele permanent, or can it be?
I'm not hearing what he's saying, Becca.
Is the varicocele permanent?
Well, the varicocele, the testicles, no. That goes away very quickly, because it all has to do with connective tissue and elastic tissue and that kind of stuff. Don't forget the Zera test. Take 3 of those twice a day. That's going to give you more testosterone. Don't forget the 3 eggs twice a day to give you the cholesterol so you can make the testosterone. Okay. And
Okay,
yeah, these things are self-healing if you give the body all the raw materials, just like you fracture your leg. Do you have to do much? No, you just give your body all the nutrients it needs and it repairs the fracture. You don't need to have the doctor anesthetize you, put a pin in your bone and all this kind of stuff. That's why there's so many doctors who are orthopedic surgeons. Okay. And again, for arthritis, we spend each year in America, just to treat the symptoms of arthritis, in America, we spend $626.8 billion. Just to treat osteoporosis in America, we spend $2.3 trillion. So between the two, we spend $3 trillion a year just to treat the symptoms of arthritis and osteoporosis, because doctors are telling people, oh, just take more calcium. Well, what about the other 59 nutrients that are necessary for the calcium to work? What about getting off the gluten so you can absorb the calcium? Okay, they just give you little pieces, and that's because they're making so much money. $3 trillion a year just to treat the symptoms of arthritis and osteoporosis. You got to be kidding me. In any other
That's
industry,
a lot
they
of
don't go
money.
to jail. Huh?
That's a lot of money, Dr. Wallach.
Well, it's their statistics.
Yeah. Well, let's go to the next hand that is up, Dr. Wallach. And CJ, go ahead and, oops. CJ, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hello, CJ.
CJ, are you able to unmute yourself? I just sent you a request. There you go.
Yes,
You're on live with Dr. Wallach.
good. Good morning, docs. Thank you so much for taking my call. Here's my big question, and I hope Doc can help me. Yesterday, I was a health nurse practitioner, wanted to purchase the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, but she said to me that the Beyond Osteo does not have any K2, and she needs in order for the calcium to be absorbed in the body, open up the cells, it needs the K2. So she says that means the calcium is not going to be properly absorbed. Doc, can you shed some light on that for me, please?
Have you ever heard of the science of crapola?
Yes, Doc, you've said it so many times. But
Okay.
I need to respond to her properly.
Okay, well, you respond to her properly by saying, look, vitamin D3, take extra vitamin D3. You take our Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, vitamin K is in there. It's in there.
Yes. And she also mentioned, Doc, that her, I guess one of the things is that the last lab report or something she did, the levels the calcium in her blood was very high. And so she wasn't sure if she
Get a hair
needed.
analysis, because the odds are if her calcium levels in her blood is high, that means her parathyroid glands are pulling calcium out of the bones because she's not absorbing calcium. She's probably eating oatmeal for breakfast, eating buckwheat for lunch and dinner. And, you know, what can I say? Well, I want to see her hair analysis. Let's see how perfect she is.
Okay. Okay, Doc. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right,
A
thank
medical
you,
a medical
CJ.
doctor is the last person that I would listen to when it comes down to nutritional information, unless they have a PhD in nutrition. Even then, I'd be skeptical.
Okay. Thank you so much, Doc. God
You
bless.
All right, Dr. Wallach, let's just move right into the next hand that is up. And Mona, go ahead and unmute yourself. If you're able to come on camera with us, that would be fantastic as well. I just sent you a request to unmute. Mona, are you there? Nope. All right. Well, Dr. Wallach, while Mona is
Mona may have been a doctor and went someplace else.
well, oh, there she is. She's unmuted. Mona, go ahead. You're on live with Dr. Wallach.
Good morning. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, great, great. So I am a newcomer to you, Miss Dr. Wallach. I have only heard of you once on the radio.
Oh.
So this is all new information for me, but I've been having some ongoing health issues. And so I just want to kind of talk with you about things that I should do. I go to a regular Western doctor, but I also go to naturopathic medicine doctors as well.
So what are your issues?
One of the things I've really been struggling with is pain under my right rib cage and in my stomach area. And also my acid reflux has been very severe lately.
Okay.
And I'm 64 years old. I'm 5'4" and about 123 pounds.
Okay. Do you have any pre-diabetes or diabetes?
No.
Do you have any high blood pressure?
Any what?
High blood pressure?
No, actually my blood pressure, it was high earlier this year, but it's back down to normal. And I've had numerous blood tests. I have severe migraines as well. And I had an MRI on my brain because they thought maybe I had a little mini stroke. That all came back clear. Everything's been coming back good.
Okay. How many times you wake up at night to urinate? Once, 3 times, 5 times?
I don't wake up every night, but once in a while, if I do, it's about once. Usually it's because I've drank a lot of water in the evening time.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you have any ringing in the ears, any tinnitus or ringing in the ears? Hello?
I do have ringing in the ears, and I have some ongoing dizziness, which they have been kind of talking about vestibular migraines.
Okay, so you have dizziness. This is called vertigo. Okay, has your voice
And it
changed?
comes and goes.
Has your
What?
voice changed?
No.
Okay. Let's see here. Do you have any, did you ever have Bell's palsy or one side of your face droops?
No.
Okay. Did you ever have did you ever get headaches?
Oh, I do regularly. And many times and they do talk about the tension in my neck, the muscles.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to a physical therapist to kind of stretch my neck and sort of deal with that.
Okay, stop. Okay, what I want you to understand is the odds are you have either the beginnings of, or you have something called osteoporosis of the skull. Once
Oh,
you get a
yeah.
hold of the book and the CD,
Uh-huh.
it's all in your head. And again, I'll remind you the difference between a normal skull at the top, where it's a quarter of an inch thick, and an osteoporosis skull on the bottom, which is an inch and a half to 2 inches thick.
Mhm.
Okay. It's squeezing the nerves. The fifth cranial nerve, trigeminal neuralgia. Did they ever say you might have trigeminal neuralgia with all that headaches?
No,
Okay.
never heard of that.
I've never heard of that one. Okay. And then let's see here.
What about the stomach acid reflux
Yeah,
issue?
I was getting to that. Do you ever
Oh.
have an irregular heartbeat?
I do, it's interesting because once in a while I feel like I'm really revved up. I feel like I'm like, woo,
Okay,
like
so
I'm on
you get a fast
speed
heart
or
rate.
something.
Did you ever get diagnosed with atrial fibrillation, where you have a fast irregular heartbeat?
No, I haven't, because it doesn't happen very often and it's very quick in passing.
Okay,
I've had EKGs and all of that done, and that's all always come back normal.
yeah. Well, when you have AFib, you have fast heart rate, irregular heart rate. You can get what's called, let's see here, you get a stomach issue, okay, called gastroparesis, which is terrible pain in the stomach, and doctors think you have an ulcer, and they'll take all kinds of pictures and make you
They
swallow
did.
stuff. Yeah, and take
And
you
they probably
pictures.
want to do that next, have me swallow something.
Yep. And basically, this is all due to osteoporosis of the skull, squeezing the 10th cranial nerve, the vagus nerve, and they'll make a couple of $1,000s off you and not find anything, because it's all in your head. That's why you want to get that book and the CD. It's all in your head. Okay, www.drjwallach.com, www.drjwallach.com. And the products, you'll pay wholesale prices for the products. If you get on auto ship, I will pay the shipping for you. Okay, if you get on auto ship.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so yeah, it sounds like you get osteoporosis of the skull, and you're starting to get all these things happening. And it doesn't just happen like switch on, switch off. It's a gradual
Right.
thing. There's 37 different diseases you can get from osteoporosis of the skull. And one of the more common ones is you get terrible pain in the stomach. They'll bring you to your knees. It's called gastroparesis, but doctors want you to believe you have an ulcer, need all of these diagnostic things going on.
They recommended Prilosec for me.
I'm sorry?
They recommended Prilosec, of course, for me, for the acid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so, yeah, they're going the wrong direction. Okay. It's all in your head. Okay. So
Okay.
let's go there. And how much do you weigh?
I weigh about 123.
123. Okay. 123. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I got it here. Okay. 123. And so I do want you to take, let's see, 123, you're right at that cusp. Let's start you out with one. Get rid of all the bad foods: no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no butter, rye, oats, no sugar, no carbonated drinks, even the diet
Oh,
ones.
I heard. Yeah, that'll be a switch for me. That's for sure.
Okay. Then
Especially
I need
that.
you
So,
to get
and you're
rid of all
talking
those.
no, and Dr. Wallach, you're talking no oils like olive oil or anything like
yeah,
that?
no olive oil.
Okay.
Yeah, olive oil has killed more people in all the wars in world's history.
Wow.
Okay. And so
Okay.
none of that. And then you need to take 123 pounds. You're right at that cusp. So let's go with one healthy brain and heart pack per month, a half a dose of everything at breakfast, half a dose of everything at dinner time. 1 bottle a month of the MSM. So you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner time. That's going to support and promote maintenance, repair, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone makes a bone itself. And then I also want you to take the vitamin D3, 3 of those twice a day. Okay. That's 2 bottles a month, vitamin D3. I also want you to get our Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, get 2 bottles of those a month. So you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner time. Okay, that's going to support and promote healthy blood flow through blocked arteries in the brain, the heart, the kidneys, your legs, every place else. And it's a miracle thing with blood flow and blood pressure and all that kind of stuff. And if you do have some, let's see here, if you have reactive hypoglycemia, in other words, if you get dizzy or sleepy an hour or so after eating a big dinner, do you ever get dizzy after eating a big dinner?
Not really. Probably just if I ate too much.
So if you eat too much, sometimes you get sleepy after dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, you may
And
have
the
the beginnings. Yeah, you may have the beginnings of prediabetes or reactive hypoglycemia. So if
Yeah,
that
okay.
continues, you want to take 3 of our sweeties at breakfast and 3 at dinner time. That'll eliminate that because you're getting early warning signals here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's why you check your oil when you go to
Right.
the gas station. That's why you check the air in your tires when you go to the gas station. You don't wait until you have a flat. You don't wait until your engine burns up. You do the testing. And so when you see these little signals, don't wait until the doctor says, well, the only thing that's going to help you is an ablation. We need to anesthetize you, take your heart out of your chest and touch it all over with a hot branding iron to stop the area in your heart that's making your heart beat funny. It's not a heart issue. It's your skull squeezing the 10th cranial nerve, which controls the rate and rhythm of the heart.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you. Yeah, this will be a definite change for me. I love oatmeal. So
Well, that's where you're having. That's why you're having your problems. If you love oatmeal, that's your worst enemy.
yeah. Okay.
Rice.
Well-
That's why the Asians live longer than anybody else because most of them now, not everybody, because there's places in China where they eat a lot of wheat and they have a lot of illnesses the rest of China don't have. Okay.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah.
And so, but when
Okay.
you look at the pure Asians that live on sweet potatoes and rice and seaweed and fish and that kind of stuff, their average lifespan is, their life expectancy is 84.7. Ours is 74.7. Okay. They
Mhm,
live 10
mhm.
years longer than us.
Yeah. Yeah. And this should take care of sort of that dull pain that's under my rib cage, which they looked at my gallbladder and said that was fine.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
it could be, you might want to take our ultimate enzymes. We call it the gallbladder in a bottle.
Yeah.
You take 1 or 2 of those, say 10 minutes before a meal with a couple ounces of water. Could be that. It could be your intestines, since you're eating so much oatmeal. It could be your intestines, your ascending colon, making that 90-degree right turn there. This is where you really get a lot of damage to your colon and your small intestines from all that wheat you've been eating for 64 years.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
That oatmeal will kill you.
Okay. Well, thank you for that information.
Okay,
I
let's hear from you
appreciate
every
that.
couple of weeks. People want to know whatever happened to that Mona girl.
That's right. The newbie here on the block.
Well, Mona, welcome, welcome. I'm glad you
Thank
found
you.
us. And just a little bit of encouragement. I suffered from migraines for 35 years. It's one of the first things that went away when I got on the supplement program. And Christy, who's on with us, she put in the comments regarding migraines, when I gave up sugar, amazingly enough, the migraines never reappeared. The bad foods cause a lot of problems, and they
Yeah.
absolutely do.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. So get back with the person that invited you to this program and let them know that you were able to get on. Thank them
Okay.
for it. The replay for this program will be up next Thursday at askdoclive.com. So our digital master, our webmaster, is on a very much a deserved vacation. So he'll be back next Thursday and have it available then. But you can also go to YouTube, look up Critical Health News, and I'm going to try to get it up sooner there. So, Dr. Wallach, I think Gayla has another question. So, Gayla, go ahead. I know you put the question in the comments. Go ahead and ask it. Are you able to unmute yourself? So her question is,
Can
you
you
had
hear me?
asked her, we hear you
Sorry.
now.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Wallach. This is Skylar Taylor again. And I was asking you about my symptoms, and you said osteoporosis, but you asked me about ringing of the ears, which I do not have, but I am having some hard of hearing issues, some hearing difficulties.
Yeah. And of course, this is the auditory branch of the 8th cranial nerve being squeezed. It goes along with osteoporosis of the skull. And ear, nose, and throat doctors love osteoporosis of the skull. Your voice changes, you have trouble swallowing, you lose your sense of taste. You lose your sense of smell because your olfactory nerve, which is cranial nerve number 1, is getting squeezed. And then you get ringing in your ears. You go to the ear doctor and they give you hearing aids. Ear, nose, and throat doctors love osteoporosis of the skull. You are their meat.
Okay.
Okay, that'll all go away.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
All right, thank you so much for that follow-up. And another question that a lot of people are experiencing, Dr. Wallach. You get that inflammation going in there, it's squeezing on those nerves
Yep.
because it's not got the nutrition that it needs to be able to keep everything in its place when it comes to the discs, the vertebrae, all of that connective tissue filling in because it thinks it needs to help strengthen because of the depletion that's going on.
In all those tunnels, there's 12 pairs of cranial nerves. 12 come on the left side, 12 come on the right side. The spinal cord comes out of the back of the skull. And those tunnels that those nerves in the spinal cord go through, when you have osteoporosis of the skull, they fill up. So you're down to like 20% or less of the original normal space, putting tremendous pressure on those nerves in the spinal cord. And that's why all these diseases appear. 37 we've counted. They're in the book and the CD. It's all in your head. And then, of course, there's another set, The Truth About Nutrition. It's a book and CD and DVD goes along with that, you know, if you want to dig deeper. We've spent an enormous amount of time, money, and energy digging this all up. Remember, I have 6 years of nutritional training at University Agricultural School, University of Missouri. I'm a veterinarian. I have a 10-year study based with Marlon Perkins at Washington University in St. Louis and Burns Hospital in St. Louis. Let's see here. We're looking at 20,000 autopsies on 457 different species of animals and humans, okay, over a 10-year period. And it's in the Smithsonian Institute as a national treasure. Okay, I'm very, very proud of that because we proved that there were no genetically transmitted diseases or no autoimmune diseases. And the original thesis, the book, The Disease of Exotic Animals, still sells for $25,000 each, new in the package, never opened. You can get them used, beat up on Siri. Ask Siri, okay, are there any of those books of The Disease of Exotic Animals available for sale? And if they're pretty beat up, you might get them for $2,000, $3,000, $5,000. Then if they're in pretty good shape, $8,000. And if they're still in the plastic wrapper and never opened, they're $25,000. So and that's why we came out with the book here, Epigenetics. And we started the new science of epigenetics to replace the science of genetics. Now, the genes are good for your eye color, your gender, and all that kind of stuff, but there are no genetically transmitted diseases. Well, how come I have 5 generations of people in my family with arthritis? Well, that's because they all ate the same way and all lived in the same county. Nutritional minerals do not occur in a uniform blanket around the crust of the earth. When we switched to electricity from coal, everybody's access to nutritional minerals went away. U.S. Senate Document 264 came out in 1936 and said there's no longer sufficient minerals in our farmlands in America to support healthy longevity in humans. I mean, this is blatant. This is not something I'm making up. This is something that everybody recognizes. And so, but I'm the only one openly preaching it. Everybody else is keeping their mouth shut so they can keep coming in asking for hearing aids.
Dr. Wallach, I had the honor of meeting with one of our coaches who actually is a practitioner yesterday. And she goes around and travels with the team. And we were having gluten-free pizza. My son and I, we have this little kind of tradition to try to find the best gluten-free pizza in town. And she joined us, her and her husband. And as we were talking, she's been in longevity about the same amount of time. And that second year of her being in, all she wanted for Christmas was the book. The book.
Was she able to find one she could afford?
Well, she found one. And fortunately, they were in a position where they could afford it. She said it has been the best $9,000 investment because she's 3/4 of the way through the book. and she has gained so much information that she has been able to utilize in her practice, and even with the 7 other certifications and the
Mhm.
training that she has had,
Well, thank
none
you
of
for that
them.
feedback. Yeah, thank you for that feedback. And it's one of those things, that study was the first one of its kind ever done. Okay, it was the first one of its kind ever done. It was the first handout on it from National Institutes of Health was like $7.5 million, but before the 10 years was up, it was $20 million. And the W.B. Saunders, the big publishing company that published medical textbooks, bought the rights to it, and they published it and sold 90,000 copies at $25,000 each. Okay, of course, I got a little royalty off of that. Not much, but a little royalty. And so it's one of those things where, as you know, it changed science. That study changed science because everybody thought, oh, just eat well, you get everything you need. No, not even close. Because plants only need 3 minerals, and all mammals, including human beings, require 60. And if the plant can look like the most beautiful carrot, the most beautiful onion, the most beautiful beet, the most beautiful cucumber, the most beautiful corn, the most beautiful everything. And it only has 3 minerals in it, because nutritional minerals do not occur in a uniform blanket around the crust of the earth. They occur in veins like gold and silver. And so
Yep,
that's what
like gold and
that's what I
silver.
learned.
Gold and silver and chocolate ripple ice cream, Dr. Wallach. Not that I indulge, but I know somebody on this call that does. So, Dr. Wallach, I have a question. And
Yes.
so one of our associates, oh, and one thing I wanted to mention in regards to the practitioner that I met with last night, she went through the health coach certification course. She
Oh,
says
so
she
she's a
has
health coach.
used, she is a certified holistic health coach, and she said she has been able to use what she learned from that certified holistic health coach course, and it has just compounded the positive results that she's getting in all of her patients who give it a shot, give it a try. She said some of them, all they do is the plant-derived minerals, nothing else, but they still get positive results. Those that can do the whole 90 essential nutrients, their results are even greater. So folks, if you're in the medical field, you got into this field because you really wanted to help people. Well, let's take what you learned in medical school, combine it with nutrition, and you are going to find that your patients, they may not be coming back to you as often because they don't have the diseases, but they're going to continue to provide that income stream because you are giving them the 90 essential nutrients that the body actually needs, is deficient of. We are not chemical deficient. Our bodies were not designed from pharmaceuticals. So why not give it the raw ingredients the body actually was designed from and with, and keep it strong that way?
Very well said. And just remember, in the Garden of Eden, there was no wheat, barley, rye, or oats. It was all herbs and fruit trees. Think about that.
Yep.
There was
Herbs,
no
fruit
wheat, barley,
trees,
rye, or
and
oats in the Garden of Eden.
that's right. So Dr. Wallach, another one of our individuals who's a certified holistic health coach, she's a longevity representative, just absolutely loves longevity, will not go without longevity, because when he does, his acid reflux comes back and he starts to ache all over. But he had a patient come in. The gentleman is 30 years old. He's 5'9", 145 pounds. And he and his brother, both same size, within two years of each other, have cystic fibrosis. Now, I know that I am talking to the expert on finding and preventing, and can I use that C word?
And curing.
You can use it. Cystic fibrosis.
Yes.
You even sued the FDA. You got fired. for finding this. So what would you recommend for somebody today, 30 years old, 145 pounds with cystic fibrosis?
Okay, well, this is very simple stuff. You need to get rid of all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no brown oats, no sugar, no carbonated drinks, no buckwheat. And then I'd go for both the brothers, 100 and let's see, they need 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, a full dose of everything twice a day, MSM, 2 bottles a month, so they can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. That's going to support and promote maintenance, repair, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between a vertebrae, bone makes bone itself. They need our ultimate enzymes because the pancreas is involved here. So they need the ultimate enzymes to take 2 of those, say 5 or 10 minutes for each meal with a couple ounces of water. And then they also need the vitamin D3, take 3 of those twice a day to make sure everything is turning right. They need the, let's see here. I'd also go with the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, 2 bottles a month. So they can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner time. That's going to support and promote healthy blood flow through the brain, through the heart, through the kidneys, and through the legs and arms and the rest of the body. And let's see here. I would also throw in one more thing. That's the Synaptive. Take 3 of those twice a day. That'll deal with the depression and anxiety that goes along with this, with the CF. Okay, so that covers all the bases from getting rid of the bad stuff to taking all the good stuff, giving the body what it needs to repair itself. Yeah, and of course, I was a recipient of the Klaus Schwarz Award, very prestigious award. It's kind of like the Nobel Prize in biochemistry. Klaus Schwarz was a guy who discovered the essentiality of the trace mineral selenium, and there are so many awards associated with that. They only have 1 or 2 recipients a year, nominated, and only 1 every couple of years to actually get the award. I think there's only been like 4 or 5 people, including me, at the Klaus Schwarz Award. It's very prestigious. It's like the Nobel Prize of Biochemistry, so very proud of that. And again, for the same thing and other issues plus, I received, as you pointed out earlier, the Lifetime Achievement Award from the United Nations. And I was nominated twice for the Nobel Prize. I didn't get awarded the Nobel Prize, but I did get nominated twice by universities. So I was very proud of that. Just to get nominated is a big thing. But I did get the Klaus Schwarz Award, and I did get the Lifetime Achievement Award from the United Nations. Very proud of that. So those things tell you that I'm working on the cusp. I'm working on the fiery leading edge of what people need to maximize health and longevity, reproduction, and so forth. This is not a simple thing in these modern times, okay? Because there's a big difference between maximizing growth of crops and maximizing nutrition, okay? There's a big difference between the two. They can kind of run parallel with each other, but you can grow a lot of crops, don't have much nutrition, because plants only need 3 minerals, we need 60. And so with that said, I'm going to turn it back to you.
Well, Dr. Wallach, myself, and my co-hosts, Ruth Ellen Sanchez, Nasima Omar, Heather Bowen, and Dr. Judy Reynolds, we are proud to be on this crusade with you in getting the information out to the masses, Dr. Wallach. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here on Ask Doc Live. We greatly appreciate all of you being here live. Yeah, there you go. So that's the Lifetime Achievement Award. That's a picture of you
At the United
with
Nations,
the presenters
at the main office in New York.
at United Nations. Awesome. So very fantastic. Everybody, make sure that you go to AskDocLive.com. You will find all of our past replays from our programs there. Get back with the person that invited you to watch this program, whether you're here live with us or watching the replay. And if you are part of our subscriber base and nobody specifically invited you here, go ahead and do a reply to that email that you received, and one of our certified holistic health coaches will get back with you. If you have not heard a reply within 36 to 72 hours, send us another email. We are being more intentional about checking the spam. There's been a lot of funky stuff going on with emails. And if we have not gotten back to you, we do apologize for that. But you have been watching Ask Doc Live. We will see you next year. Next year.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New
Hey.
Year.
Happy
Yes.
New Year. Bye-bye.
Be safe. Leave the carbonated drinks away.
Happy New Year.
And if you have to take part in any type of spirits and drinking, Rebound is a really good mixer. Just wanted to add that in there. Not that I'm going to do it, but I've heard reports. So everybody have a great rest of 2022, and we will see you next year in 2023. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.